Last year, we compared the iPhone X to Samsung's Note 8, and the iPhone was hands down the flagship phone of choice. With the new Galaxy S9 Plus, Samsung appears to have improved on every complaint we had about the Note 8. So let's take a look at everything that's changed. The iPhone X is priced at $999 for the 64GB model and $1149 for the 256GB model, compared to the S9 Plus, which comes in at $840 for a 64GB model with a microSD card slot that supports up to 256 gigs. You can buy one for around $100, providing a total of 320 gigs of storage for $50 less than a 64GB iPhone X. Both phones have a really premium feel thanks to the all-metal and glass construction, but we do prefer the build of the iPhone X. The screen is really nice on the S9 Plus with a higher resolution that provides a sharper image and less color shift when viewing at off angles. We also prefer the larger size of the display for watching videos, but the phone is uncomfortable in your hand. The iPhone 8 Plus is similar in this regard, while the iPhone X's smaller form factor is perfect for most people. To be honest, the notch on the iPhone X is pretty distracting and annoying when watching full-screen videos. The S9 Plus definitely takes the cake with its infinity display. The always-on display on the S9 Plus is really awesome, and I wish Apple would have implemented a similar feature on its iPhone X since it has an OLED display. The S9 Plus has a USB-C charging port, which is much more functional compared to Lightning. Samsung also decided to keep the headphone jack around. This may be an issue for some people, but I've been using Apple's AirPods for months now and I'm never going back to wired headphones. In terms of performance, the iPhone X completely blew the Note 8 out of the water, but this year, the S9 Plus has caught up. There isn't that much improvement in terms of processing performance, but graphics is around 50% more powerful. The iPhone X is still ahead overall, but the S9 Plus is right behind it. The saving grace for the Samsung is that it has twice as much RAM as the iPhone X, allowing apps to stay open in the background for longer periods of time. The S9 Plus now has stereo speakers, just like on the iPhone X, and to be honest, they sound really clear. It's a tough comparison between both phones, but the iPhone seems to have clearer mids and sharper highs, but it's all up to user preference. Next up, Samsung relocated the fingerprint scanner below the rear cameras. It used to be to the right side of the cameras, and it was extremely inconvenient as you had to stretch your hand behind the phone to reach it. The new placement is very natural and convenient. We also compared Face ID to Samsung's Face Unlock and iris scanning. Face ID won that battle in terms of reliability, security, and convenience. Note 8's Face Unlock could be fooled by a simple photo and wouldn't work in the dark, while iris scanning ran into reliability issues and would sometimes require the phone to be extremely close to your face. The S9 Plus has Samsung's new Intelligent Scan feature, which combines both Face Unlock and iris scanning for more secure and reliable authentication. It'll work in the dark and is no longer fooled by photos, but unfortunately, you can't use Samsung Pay with the feature. Face ID, on the other hand, can be used for basically everything on your phone, including third-party apps. Samsung has also introduced an AR emoji feature to combat Apple's Emoji. We went in depth comparing the two and found AR emoji to be extremely lacking. You can check out that comparison by clicking the card above. The S9 and S9 Plus have a new dual aperture camera that works by automatically switching between two f-stop modes to adapt to different lighting conditions. The f1.5 aperture mode lets in more light for cleaner low-light images, and the f2.4 mode results in sharper photos. Both phones were extremely similar in terms of photo detail. The iPhone X definitely had better colors, but it didn't do as well at blurring backgrounds in portrait mode. The S9 Plus had less noise in low light while retaining more detail. The X, however, has slow sync flash, so nighttime flash photos look a lot more natural compared to photos taken on the S9 Plus. Overall, both phones are even in terms of camera quality. The S9 Plus now sports 4K video recording at 60 frames per second, but we experienced a few issues with the mode. First off, 4K 60 recording is limited to 5 minutes per clip, and you're limited to 10 minutes per clip when recording in regular 4K, Quad HD, and 1080p 60 modes. On the iPhone X, however, there's absolutely no recording limitations in any mode. We compared the Samsung's 4K video at both 30 and 60 frames per second, and saw a substantial loss in detail when recording in 4K 60. The S9 and S9 Plus also have a new high-efficiency recording mode, just like the one on the iPhone 8 and X. But there's currently a huge issue with it. Video clips shot in high-efficiency 4K get corrupted when you transfer them to a Mac or PC, regardless of how you do it. So make sure not to use high-efficiency mode when shooting in 4K until Samsung fixes this issue. As expected from an Android phone, Samsung's S9 Plus is definitely more customizable than iPhone, with modifications from everything from settings to home screen widgets. For example, you can view your full calendar on one of your home screen pages without having to tap into the widget like you have to do on the iPhone X. There's substantially more settings you can customize on the S9 Plus, whereas on the iPhone X, Apple limits the list to changes most people can understand. Looking broadly at Apple and Samsung, it's obvious that Apple focuses on making their devices and features easy to set up and use, so they can broaden their market and satisfy more customers. On the other hand, Samsung gives users freedom of customization and as many features as they can pack into a device, rarely getting rid of old functionality. That's why the S9 Plus still has a headphone jack and various biometric authentication methods like the Fingerprint Scanner. Meanwhile, Apple got rid of the headphone jack and Fingerprint Scanner without flinching. At the end of the day, both the iPhone X and Galaxy S9 Plus are great phones. They're more than powerful enough for most consumers, pack top-of-the-line mobile camera systems, and come with the best displays you can get your hands on. Your purchasing decision should actually rely on which UI you enjoy the most, and which features are more useful for you. This has been Vadim with AppleInsider. Make sure to hit subscribe for more videos like this one, and let us know which flagship device you think is better in the comment section below.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out our price guide, which makes it extremely easy to find the best deals on Apple products, updated daily. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next video.